He pulled out an aged literary journal, and I read him his father's poetry. The sun was setting, and the drop top was half down. He spoke of caustic chemical tankers and 5-year plans. So, what's your 5-year plan? Wait, he's trolling Craigslist for a big girl, and now he wants to know my 5-year plan? I spouted out some shit about falling in love and moving to Ojai to live off the land, on a ranch or a farm or a French. Preferably in the Matahelia Canyon, where, adjacent to the Sulphur Springs, where I first met the Indian, Feather Not Dot. The farmer and the cowgirl should be friends. He comes in for the clinch, and now I'm excited. Mostly by how open-minded I've become. Some people might frame it differently. Perhaps they never envisioned me with a man who spends an hour each day getting into a hazmat suit to clean out the inside of a tanker truck. He comes in for the clinch, and I have no regrets. He has a job and a penis, and his father was a poet. This could work out. I've learned a lot already. For example, they use the same tanker trucks to transport acetone as they do for the mustard. And that's why his job is important, and why sometimes the mustard smells like nail polish remover. Geez, where are the feds when they're putting the mustard into the acetone tankers? Oh, they're busy busting an organic co-op for selling raw milk. You see, these clever co-op folks thought they had found the loophole called cow sharing, whereby they were all paying for the immaculate feeding and care of the cow, which allowed them to partake in the raw dairy products that the cow produced. The word is that the feds entered the organic grocery store with guns drawn and ordered the hemp-clad workers to put down their buckets of crushed coconut cream and step away from the sprout. Anyway, back to the clinch. My postmodern hazmat man comes in for a kiss, and there is some weird slime on his teeth. I almost throw up in my mouth and his. I feel terrible telling him to stop, because I'm certain that this slime is job related. I say, hey, I'm really sorry, but there's this weird texture and odor in your mouth. He melted into self-recrimination and chastised himself for not making time for the dentist. I feel terrible. He feels worse. But then he says, man, I feel like I've just been kicked in the balls. And I'm like, really? Because I feel like I just stuck my tongue into a toxic Superfund site. I don't say that, but it's over nonetheless. The farmer and the cowgirl should be friends. Should I ride my bike to the liquor store for a hot dog? The tarot deck, the tomatoes, and the dollar bills all in proximity on the coffee table. It seems that these Santa Monica fleas are now resistant to the treatment. Useless feeders, the fleas, and fade to black. Oh my God. A roommate in a one-bedroom apartment. It's come to this. Dear Lord, I made it through college, summer stock, and even an ashram without a roommate. Maybe I should apply to be a Target team member and specialize in assets protection. That looks like a fun job. Jetting around the perimeter of the parking lot on a Segway with a train of red plastic shopping carts under my watchful protection. I once went onto the Halliburton website to apply for a job as a sandwich artist at the subway in Camp Anaconda, just to the northeast of Baghdad. I fantasized about completely detaching from fancy ideas of art, performance, or meaningful connection. I imagined how I would just sit between my shifts in my cinder block room, outfitted with satellite and play video games, and at some point forget all my heart's desires. I'm in the middle of a giant stain. No one's here to fix the leak. Mold spores thrive. I eat genetically modified corn chips and watermelon and think of so many thoughts lost in the car. Doritos and many, many cupcakes. The celebrity talent arrives and I am relinquished to the kiddie pool. Oh, I had a nauseating feeling when I pulled onto the lot at Carson Studios. I'm here to shoot some promo for ESPN. The massive studio was once a major hub of the military-industrial complex that innocently began as a small airplane factory. 2 of Amelia Earhart's planes were built here, and ultimately the space shuttles, Columbia, Challenger, Discovery, and Atlantis. I wonder if this is where Stanley Kubrick shot the legendary staging of the Apollo moon landing. I come in for a crash landing, tripping across cables and uneven concrete floors, looking for a hot tea. So much for my 5-year plan! I asked Hazmat Man, what happens to the runoff from all the tankers filled with caustic chemicals and mustard and shampoo? He said that the contents were separated out according to chemical compounds and then drained into containment units, which were then transported via rail to Arizona for permanent internment. Fast